Ask those close to him to describe Georgia Farmer of the Year Scotty Raines. Some of the responses you might get: he's a man of integrity, he's hardworking, God-fearing, and chances are the majority would say he is the consummate family man. As I found out, he's also very humble. The way Scotty sees it, he's just a simple farmer from Turner County living a simple life and using his God-given talents to give back to others. A quiet road under the morning sun. Cattle and birds sharing space together, while an irrigation pivot sits idle, ready to go with just a simple command from a nearby iPhone or tablet. This is Scotty and Melanie Raines' backyard, their little slice of heaven, and it's something they believe was definitely a gift from above.
Well, it's definitely a blessing to us, to me. You know, I look back and when we started, we basically started with nothing and kind of look, you know, sure we owe a lot and a lot of debt still hanging over our heads, but we look at what we've kind of acquired and built up, and it's amazing to me. It's definitely a blessing just to look at it in that aspect.
I thank God every day for it, for being able to raise our daughters that way, and just, yeah, it's something to be thankful for, especially if you go to a city. It makes you even more thankful to come home to it.
For those who know Scotty, his recognition as Georgia Farmer of the Year should come as no surprise. He began farming full-time in 1993 and has spent nearly 3 decades expanding and diversifying his operation with an emphasis in marketing related to cotton, corn, peanuts, and watermelons. Scotty and Melanie have also received numerous awards for their operation, including the Soil and Water Conservation Award, as well as Georgia Young Farmers Farm Family of the Year. And yet, when asked about this latest achievement, Scotty feels there are others more deserving.
You know, I look at it like, well, yeah, I do a lot, but on the off the farm functions, most of the time I'm just a vessel. You know, I probably don't speak up as much as I should. I'm just filling a seat. You know, and I don't know, I just don't see myself doing or being the type of person that would get Farmer of the Year.
Yeah, there's probably nobody more deserving than him. He's well deserved. He started out with really nothing, and now he's really built up quite a farm enterprise.
And when he's not at the wheel of a tractor or checking the vines in his field, once a month you'll find Scotty here, behind closed doors in the Georgia Farm Bureau Board of Directors room, where he represents the 8th District, a position he's held since 2012.
You know, so far, I say, I feel like I'm just a vessel that's sitting in that position. You know, I look over the stuff and I make the best judgment I can for Georgia Farm Bureau, for the best of Georgia Farm Bureau, for the best of the members. And you know, sometimes it's hard decisions to make. But you know, we just have to feel like we're making the best of it. And you know, I don't want to sit there for a long period of time. I feel like there's more people out there that are probably more knowledgeable than I am that maybe needs to fill that seat. But until they come along, I'm willing.
You know, listening to Scotty talk, he sounds like a man that's been around agriculture his entire life, someone born and raised on the farm. Believe it or not, that's not the case. Now, yes, his grandfather was a farmer and his dad had a pretty decent sized garden when he was growing up, but it wasn't until later in life when Scotty met his wife Melanie that he had that epiphany, that aha moment.
I worked off and on help my brother-in-law bale hay some, and so I was a little bit active on the farm and enjoyed it, had a feel for it. But I went to work with a research farm, so I really put my hands in it. And you know, I was young and really didn't have a good plan. And I met Melanie, married her, and her father was a farmer. And he asked me if I wanted to farm. And I guess that would be the aha moment. And sure.
They always say you marry somebody like your dad. Always say you marry somebody like your dad. Your dad was a full-time farmer. Do you see a lot of your dad and Scotty?
I do. They both were fully devoted to their farming and also fully devoted to their families too. So yeah, I can see that in them.
A lot of times when I'm planting, if I'm planting peanuts, if I'm planting cotton, whatever I'm planting, during that time on that tractor, sometime I will just stop and pray for that seed, that God give the increase. You know, so I guess what I'm trying to say is you have faith through putting that seed in and watching it, and you reap from the benefit of it and you see it. You know, it just, I think that would be the love of it.